on my day off. It's a Tuesday, which is weird because I almost never have Tuesday off, but Japan has a ton of bullshit holidays. So I've got this random Tuesday off, and I figured I would go into the mountains and hopefully see some fall colors. It's not really looking like it's changed so much right now, but I don't know, we'll see. Of course, Siri's writing bitch with me today, so if you don't, I hope you don't mind that. She tends to piss me off every once in a while. So every time I actually get on my bike, especially when I'm going out for a specific reason, like a specific ride, but every time I kind of turn my GoPro on, a little thought crosses my mind, and I think, and this is gonna sound cliche and bullshit, but I think this could be the day I die. Every time I leave my house, I intentionally, I give my wife a hug and I give my wife a kiss, and I think this could be the last one. And that's not enough to stop me from getting on the bike, but it's kind of morbid, but I think it's almost these thoughts I feel make me ride a little safer, because I want to come back. I want to kiss my wife again. I want to do a lot of stuff. Oh yeah, so where we're going today is going to be the same kind of the same place where we made the Koya ride video with Mr. California, the first music video that I did. So hopefully you guys are going to see a difference in the colors if you want to compare the two. I'm going to say I'm going to link it, but by the time I get done editing this video, I'm probably not going to want to put an annotation in, because I'm just a fucking lazy guy. Anyways, the morbid feelings, like I don't know if you had this experience. Everybody told me, you're gonna die in your motorcycle, you're gonna die in your motorcycle. My uncle's friend's cousin died on his motorcycle, and that's what I know, so now I think you're gonna die in your motorcycle. I know people aren't trying to be dickheads or rain on your parade. It's something you don't like to hear, but it's also something that you should keep in mind. Not one person who's been in an accident was planning on getting on that accident. Sure, some people make some bad decisions that leave them in a bad situation, like getting in an accident, but nobody wants to die in a car accident. Nobody wants to total their motorcycle. So keep that in mind. You're not invincible. And I'm not very old. I'm 26 years old. I'm still young. I still feel like a young guy, but I'm starting to feel more and more mortal the older I get. Oh, green light. Oh well, watch this. Woo! Yeah, I used to think, especially when I had my first 600, I was just like, you know what, if I low side, I'll slide, I'll hurt, that was the only thing I was worried about, is low siding when I had the 600, and ironically, that's the only thing that I did on that bike. But, dying didn't really even occur to me on the bike. Of course, people tried to remind me of it all the time, but, I just thought like, yeah, if I crash, I'll get scratched up and stuff. And then after, and that wasn't my accident on the bike. It wasn't a serious crash. I walked away. I actually rode the bike home. But after the accident I had on this bike, it kind of changed the way I felt about riding a little bit. Of course, I'm still prone to, I go out to have fun, and it's fucking difficult to have fun at 50 kilometers an hour. So, I bend the rules every once in a while, and I have a good time, and I take the risks, but I've weighed the risks that I do take. Yeah, more and more, I feel like I could die today. And, I'm kind of my sense of humor is a little bit dark anyways. This is dickish, but I joke around, and, maybe it's something subconsciously that I'm doing, but I joke around with my wife about dying on my bike. And it's not she laughs and she's like, oh, stop it, don't say that. But maybe part of me is trying to, God, this is getting pretty deep, but maybe a part of me is trying to prepare her for a time when that might happen. And sometimes I go online and I intentionally watch crash videos, even fatal crash videos, not so much to learn from their mistakes, but I watch them to kind of help me understand that it's so easy and anything can happen in 1 second. You know, I love riding, but you know, riding is a part of my life because I care about the quality of my life. The risks are worth taking, but you know, as far as being, you know, intentionally reckless to get that, you know, adrenaline rush, it's just not worth it for me. Come on, truckie. Come on, truckie. Thank God. Oh, here's some fall colors. Let's try to keep the speed limit, I guess, a little bit. Yeah, but you know, I had a friend, my best friend actually. I'm gonna make a video about this, but I'm still too emotional to really talk about it. But I had a friend this year who he died unexpectedly. God damn, I'm tearing up right now just thinking about it. Manly, be a man. Okay, so he died unexpectedly this year, a freak accident. He wasn't doing anything reckless. Oh God, that's a beautiful tree. And you know, he was Japanese, and we used to go to the onsen together. Oh fuck, I'm gonna cry. Okay. Oh my God. I can't cry because then I can't see these quarters. And we used to talk about, you know, a lot of the deeper things. You know, he was the only Japanese person that I really could do that with. And, you know, he told me on a number of occasions, before he died, of course, but he said, you know, if I die, you know, I'm satisfied. I'm not worried about things. I'm satisfied with my life so far. If I happen to die, that's okay. And you know what? You know, of course, having him be gone is a very difficult thing. But, I can't see my GPS. But, you know, hearing those words from him, they made me feel a lot better about it. God, this is weird talking about this, but these little videos that I make are a little part of my personality. And you know, if I happen to die, I'm sure my friends and family will, you know, go through these, because you know, after my friend died, I went through as many videos and photos on my phone just trying to kind of hold on to the memories of my friend. So, you know, I guess this part is for any of you, you know, my friends and family, and you guys included. You know, if I happen to die doing this, you know, it's okay. I'm okay with where I'm at. If I'm happy. My life has had some ups and downs, but you know, right now I'm happy. I fucking love doing this. If I die doing this, you know, better this than something else. And honestly, guys, you know, just be careful. You know, weigh the risks. Don't think you're invincible, because you're not invincible. You know, everybody's gonna die sometime, but don't make it any sooner than it has to be. And I just want you guys to know, and I want my friends and family to know, that, you know, if I die doing what I love doing, then that's okay. And I want you to take comfort in that. You know, I don't want you to think anything was torn from me, because, you know, I know the risks. I know the risks of what I do, and I continue to do what I do anyways. And this tunnel sounds so good. Hold on. That's why it's okay if I die, because Siri, this was a serious fucking moment and you wrecked it. I'm just saying, guys, it's okay. If I die, I don't want to, but if I die, it's all good. And I want you to know that that's how I feel. Anyways, I'm gonna call it for that one. Thanks, guys. You're awesome. buy it. Fuck me.